Hola amigos, I'm the Spanish chef, Omar Allibhoy, and it's starting to look a lot like Christmas. I go crazy when Christmas arrives. It's just such a special time of the year, knowing that we're going to be together with the family, having very beautiful meals and just sitting at the table and chatting and laughing for hours. And today I'm going to show you how to make one of the treats that we have for dessert and just to nibble on them, but it's a sweet treat, that are called polvorones. And I will translate them as a Spanish Christmas almond and lard biscuit. There is a great tradition of making sweets with lard in Spain, because I've said this many times, but I repeat it again. You know, in the north of Spain, where there is plenty of grass and a very wet climate, there is plenty of cows and there'll be butter and dairy type of desserts. In the center of the country, there is none of that. It is very dry and very arid, and as a result we use quite a lot of lard as a source or for just a source of fat, really. And then down south, it's where we produce most of the olive oil, so that's why the history is there to make all of this style of sweets and pastries with lard. And without further ado, let me run you through the ingredients. We're going to need plain flour, ground almonds, icing sugar, cinnamon powder, and lard. 5 very simple ingredients, but you will see what a delicious result. We're going to start by passing through a fine sieve the ground almonds and the flour and just sift it. It's important so that you don't get any lumps. As you can see, I didn't have many other than one, so I just put it all in at the end and just give it a good mix and put it into the oven to roast. Now, with the help of the microwave, just soften your lard a little bit. It should take about 10 seconds for that to happen, and work your icing sugar and cinnamon powder on the lard. You know, just give it a good mix until it becomes a sort of ice cream paste texture, or like butter, softened butter really, like when you make a nice cake. After 15 minutes approximately, you would see that it has changed a little bit of color. If needs be, depending on your oven, you may decide to give it a mix in between every sort of 3-4 minutes until it's ready. And now just combine it with the softened lard, but don't overwork it. As you can see, I've just done very little work on it. It should be a very crumbly dough that breaks just by pulling it away. I haven't done much work at all, probably about 1 minute and 30 seconds in total. And we're gonna let it rest at room temperature for 2-3 hours so that it rests and it becomes a little bit more flexible. Obviously it's very crumbly, so it will be really hard to work with that sort of tension after just mixing it. Now, after the time is gone, just sprinkle a little bit of flour so that it doesn't stick to your worktop, and with the help of a rolling pin, we're gonna make just a little bit of pressure, but it should be about 2 centimeters high. That though, as you can see, I have done next to nothing to it. And with the help of a wine glass, which are always to hand and handy, I'm just making the polvoron shape. Take as many round ones as you can, and then with the rest, just bring it all back together and just do some sort of a biscuit shape. It reminds me actually like when you make sushi. I'm not sure how many of you have done sushi before, but that's how I would describe it. Just when you put together all the rice to make some nice nigiris. And now on some of those, I'm just putting some sesame seeds, and in others I will just dust them with a little bit of icing sugar. And now we're going to bake them in the oven for about 14 minutes until golden. They should be very crispy but incredibly soft, so soft that you can't touch them until they cool down. And it's really important that if you put some icing sugar like I'm doing, you do it when they are hot, otherwise it won't stick. Now just place them in a plate and they're ready to eat. It felt like ages, the cooling period. I couldn't wait, but they are so fragile when they come out of the oven that you can't touch them at all. And actually, they are so fragile that traditionally what they will do is that they will wrap them in paper. All they do is to just fold them with a bit of paper, and then, like if it was a caramel, just keep them like that. That is the traditional look that you will find in the shops. And but at home, you don't have to do it because you're gonna eat them, they are not going to travel, and there is nothing to worry about. But I hope you enjoy the recipe. If you do, please give them a try. Recipes on my website, the written recipe, I mean, and please subscribe to the channel. Happy Christmas, everyone, and let's eat a lot of turrón and a lot of polvorones. Adios. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, share it, and subscribe.